Now that we've talked about the basics of the internet and the web, let's explore how web apps run online and how they're built. There are a few layers behind the scenes controlling how an end user sees and interacts with a website or web app in a browser. These components can generally be divided into the front end and the back end. The front end of a web app refers to the user interface that users see and interact with. Most software applications running on any platform have some concept of a front end. For a mobile app, it's the pages of the app on the user's phone, for example. In a web app, the front end consists of web pages and their contents, such as what the user reads, the buttons they click, and all of the code that displays these pages and controls their behavior. This code runs in a web browser, like Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome, that reads the code and displays the page to the end user. Front-end web developers are developers that focus on writing this type of code, bringing UI designs to life in the browser. Then there's the back end. The back end of an app controls how the app's data is stored, handles all of the complex operations that run the app's logic, and more. For example, when a user signs up for an account or posts a status to a social media site, that data is sent to the back end to be processed and stored somewhere. This code runs on a web server. Back-end developers typically write this type of code, handling the brains of the application that users don't really see. The back-end and front-end of a web app communicate with each other using the internet to share data as needed. In summary, most applications are built in layers of some sort, generally corresponding to the user interface or front end and the brains or the back end. For web apps, the front end runs in the user's web browser and the back end runs on a web server. There are full stack developers who write code to handle all aspects of an application, or some devs specialize in front end development or back end development. We'll explore these concepts and more throughout this lesson.